Hello, my name is Ashley D, and I'm going to give my personal opinion on the whole Derrick Jaxn situation. To me, honestly, it was sloppy the way he did everything. You're an established, successful man who built your reputation based on teaching the knowledge of building healthy relationships, what to accept and what not to accept from a man. And when you step outside your marriage that you committed to, and you're such a public figure, for better or worse, that is a slap not only business wise in your face, but a slap towards your family and your wife who you have humiliated. But at the same time, that's a marriage, and that would be something that they have to work past and get through if that's something she's willing to do. At first, I felt bad for her more so because she has to face her friends and her family after this hot mess happened. And secondly, when I saw what he said, like, that's your wife. You come online and you're trying to calm her down, telling her she's snapping. You should be happy that she's snapping online and not snapping on people or you. I would be snapping on you online. But the whole situation to me was sad how she sat there and he deflected about everything besides the accusations of what he did and how he embarrassed her and humiliated her. And one day their kids are going to be able to grow up and see all these videos and things about their father publicly embarrassing and humiliating their mother. When you work so hard for a legacy and you build yourself up on this high platform, you have to acknowledge yourself that now you're different, now you're established. When you go in front of God and you honor for better or worse, that means through sickness and health and everything, through temptation, through lust. If you knew you weren't ready to be married, and this would just be my advice for any woman. If a man stays with me for 14 years he was with her, and he finally decides to marry her down the line, then sweetie, he's not the one for you. Walk away. I would have been left him. It took him all that time to finally realize my worth, realize I was the one for him. That should have been a red flag, because if he knew that right away, he wouldn't have cheated their first year of their marriage. And I was looking more so for him when he came online and he acknowledged the whole situation. I was looking for a couple to be holding hands. You can show hurt from him, from what he put her through, love. It was more like two friends sitting up there laughing and talking. And every time she wanted to express herself, it was him more calming her down so she could have this meek, mild manner attitude the way he wants her to be. But yet the type of women that he's messed with were more so on a, I would say, open level, because they were more voluptuous and curvy women, and they dressed more show offish, and she was more down to earth. And he should have apologized to her. He should have held her hand, not only looked in the camera face, but looked at his wife and let her know how sorry he was for what he's done. He has publicly humiliated her. And that's something that you just can't come back from so easily. You supposed to be a man of God and trying to make things right. And all you care about is promoting a book low key. And then you can see that the connection isn't even there between them. They didn't even have their wedding rings on their fingers. And his ring finger didn't even have a ring on it. It had it on his pinky. So any advice I would give to young women and people out there in this situation that feel like they're looking for love or they want a guy like Derrick, sometimes things are too good to be true. And that doesn't necessarily mean that this person is too good for you. That just means that that situation is too good, too perfect, that you should think about it before you invest your time and your energy into this situation. I would have thought, honestly, this happened. Maybe if she wanted to work through this with her husband privately through counseling, I don't want to judge. Who am I to judge? She has, what, 2 kids by him? But at the same time, when they put themselves out there like that and they put their relationship for the world to see, we're going to view it. We're going to have our insights, our opinions on what we think. And what I saw there was a girl that can't express herself, that feels trapped and doesn't know her worth. So I would suggest this for any young woman out there, single parent, whoever, whatever. Before you invest your time and your energy into a relationship, you must know your worth. You must find yourself. You must find your path through God. It can be hard and it can take time. It can even take years. But you have to find yourself. So no man will value you if you don't value yourself. No man out here will show you your worth. Before you get into a relationship, you should already know your worth. That is so important. Because if you don't know your worth, you will be targeted to any one of these guys out here. A guy shows you a good time, tells you you're pretty, you're vulnerable. You cannot be vulnerable this day and age in entering in relationships. That can be used against you. So I would suggest take time to yourself. Work out, figure out who you are, read, do things that you like to do that interest you. Spend time alone getting to know you. Even make a list for yourself of pros and cons, what to like, what to not like. What do you want and what do you don't want? What do you expect and what do you will not expect in a relationship? A relationship goes 2 ways. And you have to commit to that. Whether you're attracted to someone or not, you have to decide whether this person is good enough for you. You can't just allow your feelings and your emotions to get invested into someone that doesn't have the time for you. Especially if you're a single parent. Your goal should be dating someone that not only fits the needs of you, but that can be an example for your child. Because more than likely, that child is going to be spending a majority time around this person. So my suggestion for anyone would be love yourself. Loving yourself is a beautiful thing. It took me time to figure out who I was all over again as a woman. And it's not an easy process, but once you figure out who you are, you will be content with being alone sometime. You go through motions in different phases where you feel lonely, you feel happy, you feel okay. But just know that you're not alone because you have to be, or you're just want to find someone out here just so you can be in a relationship. No, you're alone because you're not settling and you're not losing yourself. And when you settle for a Derrick Jaxn. A guy that doesn't have the time of day to respect you, apologize to you properly, without making everyone else the villain, putting you on camera, not showing you any type of emotional connection or empathy. These type of guys we need to stay away from. And we must know our value before we allow ourselves to enter any relationship with someone. I saw a broken, beautiful woman that's been beaten down, that doesn't know her worth outside of this man. So as I lay here in my bed, I suggest for everyone to take time out for themselves and figure out what you want and ask yourself, the relationship that you're in now, is it worth holding on to? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one deciding whether or not it's time to move on, or it's time to go forward, or this is worth holding on to. And I would suggest for anyone that's in a failed relationship that's been failing time and time again to let go and let God and allow yourself to go through those emotions of the hurt and pain. They don't last forever. Allow yourself time to heal. The healing process is the best thing because you find yourself all over again and you know your worth. When you know your worth and you know your value, no man can come between that. You will see red flags immediately when a Derrick Jaxn enters your life. When someone like that walks into your space, you will know right away that this is not the guy for me. But when you don't know yourself, you're going to be in several different relationships time and time again, allowing this man to take you on emotional roller coaster rides. And whether they're good or bad, when that one ends, you'll be waiting for the next one. And before you know it, you've been in so many relationships and you still don't know who you are. When you figure out who you are, those are the type of guys you will attract. And I consider a high quality man is a man of God first. A man that puts moral standards and values, that values you, that values your time, that values your energy, that values your thinking, that allows you to be an independent thinker, that encourages you and motivates you to be the best you. That's what I consider a high value man. As a woman, we get caught up in so many different things, being parents, working hard, trying to balance everything at once. But if you don't know yourself and you don't take time out for yourself, time will pass you by, and before you know it, it's too late. Take a stand and stand alone. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be a single parent if that's what you have to do to know your worth. If you feel like it's something worth fixing, then I suggest you fix it. If not, pray for the energy and the strength to walk away and find you. Find yourself again. I am signing off. Ashley Devon, have a good night. I will chat with you tomorrow with the late night layback chat. Good night.